I really want to speak about this Sujimoto thing, huh? Because
Sujimoto.
yes, this thing is
Okay.
this thing
Suji
is
na my guy, so just dey easy on him.
it's a cancer that has eaten up contractors in Nigeria, and especially those who are into real estate. That
John, please
is
don't even go there. I
that
understand.
is
John.
that is in every contract there is something we call the variation clause. What variation clause means is that it happens in mostly construction and oil and gas. You give me a contract today at the market price of, let's say, 7,000 naira for one bag of cement. Now, that contract is going to last for 5 years. Of course, I cannot buy cement to store for 5 years. That variation clause gives me the room to vary the cost of that contract. Huh? At the end of that 5 years, if the cost of materials have increased. It's a legal clause in preparing contracts. Now, Sujimoto was given a contract of 22 billion naira. No, 11 billion, sorry. That's
Are you
about
sure of the facts?
11 billion. That was 11 billion naira. And he was paid half of them, 50% upfront, 5 point something billion naira, to build 22 smart schools in Enugu State. Let's assume that the cost of materials have changed by 20%. At least we need to see you. You should have gone 30% of this construction or 40% of the construction. Then you can come back to the Enugu State government and say, okay, I've done. I'm 40% gone. I'm not. You've paid me 50%, but I'm 40% gone. But cost of things have changed. Please, can we talk? But you
John,
went
but
and
he said he spent those money in pre-feasibility analysis.
is he crazy? Are you spending half of the cost of the contract in pre-feasibility analysis? Eh? You go to the sites. Some of them have not. You've not even done 5%, and you're saying that cost of things have changed. Cost of things have changed. Then what happened to the monies that were paid to you? That guy
Did he,
needs to
did he,
go.
did he, sorry, John. Did he give an account?
There is no account to be given, madam. Let's say I give you money to buy one bottle of water, 2 bottles of water. No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 2 bottles of water. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Two bottles. These 2 bottles of water are supposed to cost you 100 naira. I pay you 50 naira. Huh? 50
Yeah.
naira. 50 naira. So at least when you're coming to me, you should come to me with
One
this
bottle.
bottle, this one bottle,
Mm-hmm.
maybe quarter filled. I tell me, the price don't change, and only quarter of this bottle I feed buy.
Yeah.
But you're coming to me with just water this little. Tell me that the half of the money I give to you is there, but this is the little that you have done. That doesn't make
John,
sense.
but you are very much aware that comparatively to the oil and gas industry, where pre-feasibility costs can amount to several millions of dollars. Maybe the pre-feasibility cost for this project cost even like 1/3 of the total cost of the
It
project
cannot
itself.
cost. It
It
cannot
can.
cost
I'm
one
not.
third of
Let
it.
me. I don't know.
It cannot
Because
cost
I
one
know
third of the
Jordan.
total cost of the project. These are government acquired lands. What that tells you is that there
So
is no government encumbrance. The lands belong to the Enugu state government. There is no government encumbrance. Settlement due to communities is done by the Enugu state government. So what pre-feasibility studies is he talking about? Survey, setting out of
but
sites. See,
in
he should
his
go and answer EFCC and stop running and beating around the
no, but
bush.
he said he's ready to respond to the EFCC,
And
and he
then why
said
is
that
he
he
coming on
would
social
love them.
media if
No,
he's
he
ready?
said he would love them. Wait, he said he would love them to actualize and to materialize the cost of everything that he invested into pre-feasibility analysis and the rest of that,
I
and
don't
to
understand.
deduct it from the money he was given so he can refund the remnant.
Ah.
I'm trying to
That's
play.
right. That's right.
Let, let me play devil's advocate here. You know, John. You know, sometimes working with the government is very hard.
Mm,
Which is
It's
true.
very, very, very difficult.
mm,
It's not private.
mm.
It could be that, yes, he was given that amount of money on paper, but physically,
What got to
in
him?
reality, no, no, I'm just saying, but in reality, he wasn't giving all that
That's what I'm
money.
saying. What got to him now? Government officials don't cut their own, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So that
He-
what that
then what he
John,
should
that
I
is
want
what
to say something before you
excuse,
speak.
me,
Hmm.
sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. What he should do is to go to EFCC. I gave Emeka Okonkwo, Accountant General of the Federation, 5 million. I gave Mr. Ifeanyi Tunde, senior special advisor, Ministry of Works, 20 million. If not, you're going to take the full fall of everything. Nobody cares.
John,
What is
John,
sharing? Excuse me. Excuse me. When you're giving taxpayers money, you should be
You
held
have to be able to
accountable.
account.
Taxpayers' money.
exactly
Coming to
that
tell us that you spent it on feasibility study. If you
that
like,
that
if you like,
that's
divide the money into two and give the governor half. That is your
that's
business.
that's true.
It's your
But the
business.
thing is that, yeah,
John, I would love to say something.
you,
Let me, sorry,
sorry,
can you guys
sorry,
hear me, please? Did
one
you?
sec, just one sec. I'm so sorry. But the thing is that they should not just hold him accountable, they should hold all the government officials involved in that transaction
So,
accountable.
madam,
Tell us.
this is how it works. The state government paid him money. The state government will hold him accountable for the money paid to him. Now, if he paid the money to other people, then he should come and tell EFCC so that they can quickly start making arrests.
John, I have a question
Coming,
for you.
coming to social
John,
media
I have a question.
to cry for us. Me, I can know how to cry too.
John, I have a question for you. Was this money given to him during the tenure of the previous government
No, no,
administration, or
no.
this current
This
this
current
current
one.
government? Okay,
Yes.
then I would love to say this. Whatever everyone does, or whatever statement, or whatever statement anyone makes, okay, the person has an objective, okay, behind that. So if his objective was to insurrect or to raise the masses in order for the masses to feel compassion and to feel pity due to what we face, then if eventually he gave people cut, he would have called them out. He
So
should have called them out.
if he gave people cut, he didn't give people cut. It's not my business. All I know is he should provide the schools he was paid to build.
See, John,
If he has
John,
variations in the contract,
that
he should
department,
discuss it. He should discuss
that
it with the
depart
Enugu state government.
that department should be held responsible too.
No, no. For now, it's not the department's
No, the
business.
department doesn't need to be held responsible.
It's for
Yeah.
now. It's not the department business until Sujimoto goes and makes a verbal confession and tenders evidences that the department is culpable, is liable to this. You see, I can already see some loopholes in the department. I can already see some loopholes. You cannot give a guarantee with Jais Bank. You cannot give a bank guarantee. You get guarantee of 5 billion with Jais Bank. I can already see some loopholes. All I'm expecting him to do is go because Jais Bank is not. You cannot be given a guarantee of 5 billion with
It's
Jais
not a
Bank.
tier
And
one bank, right?
yes, it's a tier one bank. And secondly, when the payment was made, it was not paid into Jais Bank. It was paid into his Zenith Bank account. How will you give a guarantee with one bank and receive the money with another bank? Who was the accountant that approved that payment? Who was the
Hmm.
accountant that approved that payment? You cannot be given a guarantee with Jais Bank. What if you pay the money into Zenith Bank? You indemnifies Jais Bank is no longer liable for that guarantee. Because what the bank guarantee says is that, see, we are guaranteeing that this guy has up to 5 billion with us.
Mm-hmm.
Eh? Pay him this money. You pay him the money. You're not going to pay the money into his Zenith Bank account. What's Jais? There's no business with Jais Bank anymore now.
Ah,
You
no,
get
don't.
so I can see those loopholes already, but what
Mhm.
that is where he should that is what he should go and present to EFCC. and
Exactly.
tell us the person he gave money to divert that money to Zenith bank account.
The person or the
Simple.
people.
I don't care. The person, the people, the institution, I don't care.
The bobo
You
to go.
understand? So he should stop. He shouldn't come here to cry for us. This is Enugu State money. We are interested in Enugu State. Please, he should go and meet EFCC. If not, we'll EFCC him.
Daddy freeze.
You go and meet EFCC and tell
I
us what
woke
he
up
did with
today.
Enugu State money.
Let me
What
go.
did you say? You want to go?
John, good night. Daddy
Good
freeze, good
night,
night.
Good
madam.
night,
God
my
bless you.
darling. Where is
I
everybody? Nobody wants to put mouth.
Bye. Good night.
Everybody, where are all the people from Enugu State? Love now they fear. Where is everybody? Oh? As in, pop my money gun if you're watching on TikTok. Nobody wants to talk. Plus, people will send me requests. Good night, my darling sister.
The first
If you're
does
watching
a
on
put on
TikTok, pop
comment
my money
section.
gun. Hey, somebody bought my super chats. Woo! Jinai, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, super chat, super stickers, and super likes, bottom left-hand corner, sorry, bottom right-hand corner, where you type your messages, you see a rectangle with a dollar sign in the middle. That's the only way I'm going to read your messages on YouTube. So buy my super chat, super stickers, and super likes. All of you go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Click on today's video. Bottom left-hand corner, you see how to buy my stars. And if you're watching on TikTok, I need to give a shout out to anybody who buys my money guns. So, how are you doing, my brother? Welcome here. Pop my money gun. If you're watching on TikTok, make a shout out to you.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
go
you.
ahead, brother.
Yeah, John has really nailed the point. The issue is this: you can't get a bond from Jai's bank, and then the money was paid into Zenith Bank. That's diversion, pure diversion, and it won't be from Sujimoto alone, because probably you will make that request, and then there will be collaboration definitely, because he doesn't have control of where the source of money is and how they're going to move it. But definitely he must have made that request. Probably one. There are a lot of clauses in we call it APG, Advanced Payment Guarantee. And so that Advanced Payment Guarantee has clauses, has terms and conditions, has conditions to precedence to you drawing the money. And if those conditions are not fully met, yeah, you won't be able to draw. And then definitely there are milestones built into that contract.
Yes.
So those milestones are things that some of the contractors want to try to manage or dodge. One, because it has a level for you to get to maybe for you to, in fact, you have to mobilize yourself to site sometimes, and then when it gets to a milestone, or maybe materials are there, you need workers, you need some other things to make payments on all sundry payment, you now raise a certificate. The state government will assign, because there should be a project manager that will verify everything you've done. So that project manager will verify
From the bank and from the state government too.
the bank will appoint a project manager. The state government will have their own project manager or coordinator, which mostly are from Ministry of Works, or
Ministry of
if
Works, yeah.
it's an SPV, special vehicle, special purpose vehicle for that project, there will be a project manager too in-house that they will be checking, ticking all their what's it called? Their milestones together. Oh, are we here? Are we there? And then Sujimoto himself, who is the one that has to perform now, because there is a performance clause there. You must perform before you get the next milestone payment. So, and then they will have to raise certificate. All these things are things CBN, EFCC will look at. Okay, who raised what certificate? Who approved it? How come the total sum of project is 11.7 billion, and then 5.7 billion has already been released? how far, how did you get to that milestone, within what period, who supervised it, and who signed off? Because it's not Sujimoto alone. By the time but one thing that is surprising to me is this: Enugu state government cannot be that complicit, or maybe the government, the top hierarchy, cannot be that complicit, and then they will expose this kind of thing, or they will take him to EFCC. You understand
So
what I'm saying? I'm not
so
saying I'm
so
not.
we know Governor Mba, but Governor Mba has run several businesses from Pinnacle Oil. He's well known in the downstream sector of in the oil industry. Governor Mba is so what Governor Mba did is we paid you money. Go to EFCC and expose your collaborators.
Of course.
That's what Governor Mba cannot investigate that case. The Nigerian police cannot investigate the case. He did the right thing. He should do. Come and answer EFCC. Expose because the fact that that money was received with a Zenith bank account means that there was an original intent to defraud the states.
Yeah, see, let me put this to you. See, we don't know
Mm.
where this will lead us to. If the project, if on the milestone, on the certificate where they've signed, if the project is to stay at the what's that thing called, the foundation level, Sujimoto will not be liable for anything except maybe, yeah, because that is what is in the milestone,
So so
approved by
so
everybody.
so the but what the contract says is delivery of 22 units of smart schools.
I
Huh?
understand.
So
Yes,
if the milestone is that when you do foundation, when you do setting out, we'll pay you 50%. Huh?
yes.
When you
See,
do setting out, we'll pay you 50%. Enugu state government can say, okay, fine. Is that the problem? Take the balance of the 50%, go and complete the project.
yes. See,
So,
that's
so, 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 and if you notice, Enugu state government said that every avenue to get him to come and let them have a conversation
yeah.
was
That's another point.
aborted. So,
He
so,
breached
so,
them.
so Enugu state government is even saying, come, let's talk. Let's talk. You know, won't come. He should be arrested, not even invited. He should be arrested. He
John, be
has been
calming
declared
down on
wanted.
our guy.
I don't,
No,
Daddy,
see,
please, I don't care about who's guy.
see,
If someone
the
is wrong, someone is wrong. He has been declared wanted by the EFCC.
definitely because he failed to show up, or for, yeah. You see, there are times that under this kind of contractual disputes, there are ways you have to come together, because there always be dispute. That's why there are
Oh,
policies, there are
there is
laws,
no,
there are
there
a
is
lot
no,
of things.
there is no dispute in this contract. What I see, from my
There
opinion,
is.
is a clear intent of fraud. Please, bro, let's put it this way. Yeah, you
See,
give
fraud.
you tell bro, wait. You give me money to build a house for you. I tell you that I will use 100 million to build a house. You want a 3-bedroom duplex. Hmm? You pay me 50 million out of the 100 million I said I used to build it. You expect that when you come for inspection, when I'm demanding for more money, at least you want to see your house on lintel level.
Yes.
Let's say,
Mhm.
let's say I am on decking level and I'm telling you that cost of materials are now high. We can have a conversation, but you
See,
cannot give me 50% of the cost of building the house, and you come and I did dig foundation. Then you say cost of
see,
materials are high.
John, we need to look at what is built into the contract. Number one, why I'm saying this is because I made a comment. I said preliminaries. Sometimes when I look at preliminaries of some contracts, I will be shocked, because if a project can be 10 billion and preliminaries will take 3 billion, they will put approval this, approval that, compensation this. Maybe they are. I'm just saying it. You don't know, because see, professionals. If somebody wants to do we call this in environmental impact analysis, or yeah, assessment, EIA, environmental impact assessment. That thing, a professional can tell you that I want to do it for you for 1 billion. And if negotiation works, that's a professional fee. You cannot query anybody for his professional fee. You can only negotiate.
And I
So
agree.
I'm
But
just
if he goes that route, Enugu State government will just tell him, okay, this is the balance of the payment. Provide the 22 smart schools.
Of course, that is, you see, that's a very straightforward resolution. And then if it's possible, now you see Sujim from his own comment. I'm not citing anybody. I'm just making a normal analysis. From his own comment, he said about the time he got the money, dollar moved from about 400 and something to 1,700, 1,800. That's about 300%. See, if he has called for variation, and they said, see, some contracts like that, some government will be like, no room for variations. They will state it from ab initio. So the risk of fluctuation of FX is on you.
So please, what does fluctuation
So
of
if he has agreed,
please
to take all those risks,
let's talk on technical terms. What does fluctuation of FX have to do with him building smart schools?
no, part of the inputs are imported now. They are inputted.
Like,
He's importing some of these things.
give,
So
give me
we
an
will now
give
find
me
out.
give,
Has he
give me an
imported them?
give me an example of what is important.
I wouldn't know. It might be some electronic devices for the school. It can be because I
So
wouldn't know. I'm just saying it.
constructing a school. What you need is cement,
See, let me give you a
sand.
typical example. Let me give you a typical example. If you are doing a contract which has to do with construction and equipment, experience shows
Pause
that
my
you
money
might
down
have.
if you're watching on TikTok or Stinjos. Continue, guys.
So if you are having a contract that has two components, like you build and then you equip, most times contractor will first of all import. They first of all open LC to import all the equipment, so that they will not be caught in fluctuation of FX, because most times it goes up. So that one, they will have spent about 50% of whatever advance that has been released to them to import. Then to do construction, they will be struggling. Do you understand that? So we have not seen any document. It's just what they said that we are analyzing. If we have seen document now, you find out that the perspective and or our perception will shift a bit until we see the. But there is a very strong pointer, which is that a bond issued by Jais was not honored to them because the money was diverted to Zenith Bank, which is a very how do I put it, a big snag in that
If
sense.
I'm EFCC prosecuting lawyer, that act alone gives you that there
It's
is an
it's a,
intent. There was an
it's a grave
intent to defraud,
it's a grave one. It's a grave
from the
one.
beginning. From the beginning, that act alone, you gave a bond with Jais Bank, you received the money with Zenith Bank. There was an intent to defraud from the beginning.
Of
It might
course,
not be just by you, but by you and your collaborators. You understand?
see on that one, there is a big flaw on their side, because it can't be Sujimoto alone on their. But definitely, as time goes on, we will
If
see
Sujimoto
what.
was not planning to defraud Enugu state government, he would the man find his BVN and paid it and found his Zenith. He presented a Zenith bank account. He was one that presented a Zenith bank account. The
I
man
said
did
that's
not
a
go to
big flaw.
Google and look for his BVN and found his Zenith bank account and paid it into his Zenith bank account. He presented a Zenith bank account.
That is condemnable, totally condemnable. I can tell you that is a big flaw from both of them, and Sujimoto alone will not be held responsible for that alone.
In
And
this
I'm just being
Nigeria,
frank. Eh?
in this Nigeria,
Yes, now, because definitely somebody it takes two to tango now. Somebody released the money against the policy, against the CPDs, against the terms and conditions. Sujimoto will not go into their pocket to pick the money. So he presented that account and then they paid into it. If it's an error or a mistake, then they are liable. They shouldn't have done that, because there is an MOU, there is a proper contract. You can see that they are not even mentioning Jais Bank there, because Jais Bank will be smiling. Nothing concerns them,
Nothing
because they
concerns
are not
Jais
liable
Bank.
for the
Nothing concerns the Jais Bank is not liable for anything.
anything.
Even Zenith Bank is not liable for anything.
They don't know.
I'm free.
It's just pure inflow.
All right, I've got my brother Tokwe Son here as we're ending right here. Tokwe Son, what are your thoughts?
No, I actually joined the conversation late, but I'm aware of the, I understand both sides. Doing business in Nigeria is not for the, is not for the weak at heart. I know Sujimoto. I've been around him. I understand his business. You know, but honestly, I don't know enough of the details of the deal. But
It's
I've
all
been
right.
listening to the two gentlemen. I think, Forex is a big deal when you're doing business in Nigeria, and let nobody tell you otherwise. I've done enough business in Nigeria to, especially, Sujimoto is in the luxury home business. And from my understanding of that space, again, I'm not in the real estate business, but I would assume that he imports a lot of what
Yes,
goes into its structure.
it does. It
So
does.
to the man that was speaking on the legal terms, you need to have those things in the contract. Fluctuation in forex. Of course, unless you're living under a rock, we've seen what has happened between the last administration and this. I mean, dollar has gone up 300%. I mean, we
I'm
all
as
know
a,
that.
as a contract
Yeah.
administrator, I don't care what happens to Forex. What I care is you tightening up your legal team. For example, when they ask them to employ lawyers, they go and employ their girlfriends. So the
Hmm.
girlfriends come and draft contracts for them that is flawed. There is a
No,
term
but I
called
think
variation.
you need to then you said two things that are conflicting. You said you don't care about it, and you now
I
said
don't
they
care.
should
I really
hire
don't care.
legal.
Why
Well,
will
what
I
I think
care?
you should say more or less is say that they should have put that into the country. You have to care about forex when you're operating in
I don't
Nigeria.
care
You're a
about
businessman.
I don't care about Forex. What I care
Okay.
about is I want smart schools. Build me smart schools. It is your responsibility. It's not my legal team's my legal team is happy when you don't put that variation clause. They
And so
are
we're
looking.
saying different
they-
things. Then
Wait,
that could be fraudulent on your own side too.
no, it's
For
not
Yeah.
you
fraudulent on my own side.
understanding.
No, it
Oh,
is not.
No,
It is
no, it could be.
legal.
See, sometimes it could be intentional that you
It
don't
is
want
legal.
variation.
exactly, which doesn't
It
make
could be
it right.
intentional. You
But
don't
when
want.
you do business, it's
So,
called.
as a
There has
contract
to be a
employer,
win-win.
as a contract
Please,
employer,
please,
Yeah.
you put that
please,
clause
give me
there.
a minute.
If
Give me a
it's
Yeah.
minute. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
I want to give Daddy Freeze a contract to build a house for me. I
Hmm.
know that there is forex. That forex might not be stable.
Yeah.
I know that Daddy Freeze is liable to put a variation clause in his contract to
Mhm.
secure his end. My legal team, their responsibility is to make sure that he doesn't put that variation clause.
But does that make it right? Is what I'm saying. We
uh,
cannot keep
Sir,
operating like
sir,
this
sir,
now.
sir, sir, that is
okay,
how that
John,
is how
John,
that
so John,
excuse me.
please,
That's where we
John,
are. Where we
one
are.
second,
Please
one
let me
minute.
land. Please
Okay,
give me a minute. That is how it is done everywhere in the world. My legal team will not tell you about the variation clause. Your legal team should tell you about the variation clause.
of course.
I'm not
I
doubting that,
bro,
but I'm
I've,
saying
I've
that does
been
that make
involved.
it right?
I've been involved with a lot of contracts in the oil and gas industry. The legal team of the contract administrator will never mention a variation clause to you.
The
It is a
contract
responsibility.
it behaves on the contractor to ensure that
It's
they
the
put the
onus
clause
is
in
on
there.
you. The onus is on
I,
you to.
I get you, but the question
And
is,
this
do we
and this is
know?
what happens.
Do we
This is
know?
what happens. This is what happens when you go to NYC camp and see this tall, shinkere girl that went to that because she's fine, and you employ her as your legal team, and you're busy asking her when you're supposed to be calling her to ask her what have you done about this
John,
contract. You're
John,
asking her
John, please.
what are you wearing? What are
John,
you wearing?
John,
But we
John,
don't
let
know
me just
that
cite
for a
this.
fact,
John,
though.
let me just cite this.
We don't know
I,
that
I'm
Okay.
for
not
a
saying
fact.
I'm not
I
saying that
agree.
that's the
Yeah.
fact. I'm not
Yes.
saying that
Yeah.
that's the
See,
fact. I'm
John,
not saying that
John,
that's the fact. I'm not saying that
John,
that's the
when you
fact.
are John, when
What
you
I'm
are
saying
starting
is
a contract, John,
if you have a legal team that knows what they are doing, the variation clause is what the first thing they should put in that contract before anything.
of course, in this
Agreed.
economy.
Agreed.
See,
Agreed.
John, John, let me say this.
Agreed.
In most contracts, start on a friendly level because when you are attending meetings, you talk like friends. It's just like
Yeah.
you want to build a radio station today now, and you know who to go to. Daddy Freeze, of course. Daddy Freeze, you are building me a radio station in Lagos. The building is on you, and then you get the equipment. The major equipment is transmitter. Daddy Freeze, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So And you cannot get transmitter locally. Maybe the one you want to, and it depends on how your coverage. Probably you want to cover from Lagos to south or southwest. So you need to get some. You can't get it locally. You have to import. And then the time you are quoting, when you got your invoice, maybe a transmitter was about 50 million that time. And then by the time they release, paperwork and everything, transmitter Forex has changed. It has gone to 100 million. Do you understand? And then you want the contractor to perform magic somehow, some way, and there is no variation cost.
It's almost always unlikely when two parties go into a contract for every party
Yes.
to adhere to it. One, who knows? Maybe did the state follow the schedule of payments too? We have to also ask ourselves: if they say they were going to play on Friday by 5 p.m., did they pay on Monday at 1 p.m.? So all these things, and that's why it's important when you're going again into. We've all done business. It's all about, let me see how much I can get over on you, like the gentleman said. But honestly, you always get to where we are now when you don't go into a contract understanding that a problem can arise. That's why Enugu State is where it is. If somebody looks like they say, "Oh God, come," you should put a clause in here to protect yourself. Lawyers do that all the time. But when you have that mindset, I have to get over you. It's a Nigerian thing. I'm telling you, when you feel like you have to get over somebody, it's not in the contract. And then I don't make sure you don't tell them about it.
Why would my lawyer do that? What if this man
lawyers do all the time?
Excuse me. What if this man has a stockpile of those items that he has in a warehouse that he just wants to sell, and he wants to use that contract to sell it? I can't preempt him.
I don't understand. You're looking at this. Contract should be a win-win. I always say, in the mindset we're in right now as Nigeria, and you as black people, as human beings, you always have to think win-win. What does it cost a Enugu State lawyer to tell him because at the end of the day, if you really want your product to be
if I'm Enugu State governor, and the lawyer does that, I'll fire him.
See, in this case, we don't know. See, we know John, we know the beginning of this case. We don't know.
I'll fire him immediately. I won't even waste time.
Why will you fire the lawyer that is trying to protect
John, let me point it out. The issue is this. The major problem is that why will you release money? Why will you allow diversion? Because if you have allowed that, it's on both parties, and I have to tell you.
So let me ask a fundamental question to is it Mr. John? Let me ask a very simple question. Now let's assume that Sujimoto was a fantastic human being. If he made a simple mistake by not putting a clause in there, and you're noticing that dollar has gone up, do you want Sujimoto to cover that cost? Do you, in your own heart? No, let's say he's a fine gentleman. He made a mistake. He didn't put the clause, and the dollar went from 400 to 1800, whatever it is. Are you in clear conscience? You want him to come up with that money to build that project? Simple question for you.
Yes, I'll answer that question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
of course. Yes, now
I'll answer the question. Mm-hmm. Please, if Naira had appreciated after the contract, would he refund me?
If dollar. Actually, you can have that conversation. No, that's a fair conversation. You can but here's what I would do. Yes, the short answer to that is possible. It's possible. You can say, "Oga, dollar has gone down. Can you put maybe one extra room there?"
No.
Most contractors, most contractors will say, "Okay, fine, dollar went down significantly. Okay, let me give you one extra room."
It's not true.
Sometimes they put it. See, John,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they put it.
True.
It depends. You can say if there is a reduction in FX costs, then you have to.
It's not true, bro. I've seen 1,001 contracts on this earth.
I'm reading the comment. People are saying that there's no sentiment in
I've
business.
seen 1,001 contracts on this earth. A contract, the variation clause does not make provision for the contractor to refund money. It only makes provision for the for the contract administrator to pay when there is a change in FX.
Yeah, because why will you have a refund? Because if you are buying equipment, you can't refund equipment.
So what we are saying in essence is, for instance, today dollar is 1,500 naira to $1.
Yeah,
550.
yeah.
I go into contract with someone that this is what he's going to use to build a school for me.
Mm-hmm.
And we sign the contract. We agree on the contract. And by tomorrow morning, dollar falls to 300 naira to $1. I will
Mm-hmm.
not. The contract administrator cannot get anything from the contractor. It is the
You
contractor's
assume
gain.
that.
Sir,
You
sir, sir,
assume that.
please. I'm not assuming. I'm not assuming. I'm telling you what the law says. Please, you can fact check me.
No, you're right, but I've seen contractors in your scenario,
Then
maybe not in that.
you're talking about per demand contractor.
No, again, it's
Maybe
all
me and
about.
Daddy Freeze. Maybe me and Daddy
See,
Freeze. I
see,
give
see.
Daddy Freeze money
No,
to buy me shoe. You're talking
But I
about
want to
per
believe.
demand.
Okay, so let me answer that question in a different way. What if Sujimoto could have seen that Enugu is a big client? Dollar has gone from what is it, 400 to 300. So now I have an advantage. But Enugu is a big client. Well, let me give you, sir. Okay, we're doing better now. If your lawyer pointed out, Sujimoto has no, I shouldn't be the one to point it out, right? You can just say maybe your dollar is down now. What's going on? Okay, maybe I'll build you one extra room because
see,
of dollar because you're a big client.
in every
It
contract,
happens.
in major contracts, there is always CSR clause there.
Uh,
Mhm.
CSR, social,
Corporate
corporate
social
social
responsibility.
responsibilities that
Okay,
you
so
can
Yeah.
do. It's
so
always
bro, bro,
embedded.
bro,
That
bro, bro, bro,
that's
bro,
to
bro,
cover
bro,
something like
bro,
that.
bro. When we are talking about these things, we are talking about legal entitlements and non-legal entitlements.
Of course, of
Please,
course, of course,
it is not the legal entitlement of Enugu State to
of
demand for
course.
anything from Sujimoto if dollar had fallen to 300 naira.
Yeah. Yeah. They choose to.
What is the legal entitlement of Sujimoto's to demand for additional payment if he had the variation clause? You're talking about two different entitlements. A legal
Nobody
entitlement
is
that
arguing with you.
so
Nobody is
then
arguing with you
let
that you
when
are right.
we are
Saying
talking
is,
about the
You,
legalities of something, let's stop
you
bringing
are
about
right.
per demand things.
Legally, you are right. No, I'm not even arguing that. But I'm saying that at this point, had resolution, we are where we are. All this EFCC and all this, it's just a waste of time,
But
paparazzi. Resolution.
have you
Yes.
forgotten that the state government have called him to come and let's talk? And he
and
has
if
refused to.
Okay.
see,
Well,
he
yeah,
failed
I don't
in
know the
that
facts
regard.
of that story.
See,
Yeah.
if contract employer calls you for a meeting or for a review, it is compulsory that you have to be there. You
Or
don't
does he
allow.
think Enugu State are these people who
Why
collect
will you
money
do that?
to build luxury homes for?
So
Yeah.
one, he reneged on all
The meetings and
promises or he reneged or even compromises. Probably they have okay. Let
this is
us
why you
work
have
it out this way.
mediators now. They should
The
have just
yes
gone to
now.
mediation. Like
So
it's very simple. Even if without the variation code, there's something still called. You guys are, I forget what they call it in legal. I'm not a lawyer. They will say, listen, even though you signed something that at that time made sense, but come on, common sense says that you forgot to put a clause in there. How can we resolve this? It's a simple
And you
thing. You
know,
can
and you
resolve it.
know, and you know, for EFCC to declare him wanted means that he has been invited, and he did not
of
honor that
True.
course,
invitation.
Yeah.
Because
of course.
EFCC
Yeah.
cannot just come out
Possibly.
and declare you wanted.
Allegedly.
So
That they will
Uh,
say.
allegedly, so that
allegedly,
means
Allegedly.
this guy is notoriously known for allegedly known for not honoring invitations.
Yeah.
Maybe because he feels that everybody is those people he allegedly collect money from and never build their homes for them.
Hmm.
mm,
Wow.
you know, there's so many paddy or man no man in Nigeria,
He should
and
face
then
he
so
should
many
face
True.
the
cases. So
full wrath
that's the
of the
major
law.
problem.
True.
So
They'll
I
pick
believe
you up when they, yeah.
I believe he will learn lessons from this one, and then depending on how they resolve it, I know we have not heard the last of this. We are still going to get more information about what is, and if there
Someone
are documents that we can see.
someone said this matter will disappear when they adjust the sharing formula. Let me tell you something. That means you don't know who Peter Mba is.
No, no, no. That governor is
Mba
very.
is a madman. Mba is a madman.
Hmm. Wow.
Mba is ready to sack his commissioner for works on this. Mba is ready to sack his commissioner
The
for
governor is
works on
thorough.
this.
Is
The
really
reason
is
why Mba said let's not talk about anything, let's just go to EFCC is because he knows that when he sets up a committee, the committee will be infiltrated by those same people that might have allegedly collaborated with him. So just take it to EFCC, so that when he gets
Mm.
to EFCC, he starts singing from
All the people
EFCC.
that's another part that we didn't even list to. When you do contract in Nigeria, you probably 25% of that is to facilitate and to bring that contract out. So all those people now,
Yes, Lord.
they are all involved in this.
Since he's going to honor the EFCC invite. Probably he was there yesterday. I don't know, something like that
He
in
was there
the.
yesterday. Oh, that means he has a bed there now with AC.
So yes,
Yeah.
he was there, and he was. There was no news that it was released yesterday. Probably he
And
slept
that
there.
and this is the best time for everybody that has given him money that have not gotten what he paid, what they paid for, to file a class action against him while he's still at that EFCC custody.
To counter sue him.
Yes,
All,
let's
all the lawyers
because
associations will
the
gather.
truth is that
And
these realtors take people's money with impunity. You know what
mm,
they do? Especially in Abuja, you know what they do? They come and get one piece of land, collaborate with the owner, do one magic, sell it to people. By the time they sell it to people, they have like 5 billion, and that land does not exist. They'll keep 1 billion from that 5 billion for case. They'll keep 1 billion from that 5 billion for case.
wow,
And you be on the case for the next 10 years.
You'll be on the case and die. Your children will inherit it. Sorry, your children will inherit it.
that's
So these things need to be discouraged in its entirety.
Yeah, I agree
Let
yeah.
with
people
you.
do genuine
I,
businesses in
I
Nigeria.
agree with you. A lot
No,
of
that
people are afraid to put money in real estate properties or anything because those guys are very mean.
yeah.
That is why
Wow.
you see me patronizing Daddy Freeze's friend, Dr. Ned. Dr. Ned tells you that his property will be ready January. Oga, I am not joking. December 31st, you have your keys.
Yeah, no, because the guy is fully funded and he can fund his project very well, and then
Do you get?
that's the edge you have when you can fund your project yourself.
You don't need banks.
But
Yeah.
So you don't
but
need APG, you don't
but
need
but,
anything.
but, but some of these people can fund smaller projects themselves. Why are they going for the
Yeah.
big ones? Why don't you
Seriously,
grow?
this John, let me tell you something. My own mindset. Immediately this news broke, I was like 5 point something billion. I am like, okay, Sujimoto can drop that one. That's the image he put up. That Sujimoto can drop 5.7. Why? It's too small for him. But for us, probably he
But
was crying, probably because of the bad reputation.
maybe
Or
you maybe he was crying. Maybe he was crying so that Daddy Freeze, his friend, will do fundraising.
At this juncture, I'm going to say goodbye and good night. Thank you for
John has
joining
sent
us
Daddy Freeze away
live.
now.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Tomoyasan. And thank you, my
Good
dear
job, guys.
brother, all the way from Oshogbo, Olayinka Olorundare. Thank you so
Thank you.
much and see you guys soon.
All
Appreciate it.
right.